All right, sorry about that. The cat is now locked away and hopefully will not break through the door. Students solve the equation this. And I said that absolute value of an expression cannot be negative. Fair enough. So therefore the equation has no solution. But this whole absolute value thing here doesn't equal a negative number. It's this whole thing minus 4 equals negative 3. So somewhat clearly this whole thing equals positive 1. If you separate this, you do 2x squared plus 3x minus 1, you keep the absolute values, but just move the 4, add 4 to both sides, it's going to be this absolute value equals positive 1. So the student is not correct. Okay? Oh, it says solve the equation. I'm just going to check and see if this is a kind of a rooted question. We're not doing it. 12. Oh, doesn't even have an answer. Challenge accepted. All right, so it is 2x squared plus 3x minus 1 equals, and I'm just going to say equals 1. Okay, I'm going to skip that one little tiny part. Is this in focus since I changed media? Can you hear my cat whining through the door upstairs? I can. I was going to say it's irritating, but I feel bad. He's just lonely. All right, so first way we do it when this is positive. So it's 2x squared plus 3x minus a 1 equals 1. So bring that 1 over, subtract 1 from both sides. 2x squared plus 3x minus 2 equals 0. Now we factor this. Does it factor? Please. Please. One of these is going to be 2x. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 and 1. Yeah, it might. Let's just double check. You know what? I'll do it on a separate piece of paper. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. So that could be 4 and negative 1. And when we add those, 4 plus negative 1, it works. So to further that, that would be 2x squared plus 4x minus x minus 2. I'm not sure the order here yet. 2x times x plus 2 minus, yeah, that works, x plus 2. Okay, so it's going to be 2x and negative 1 times x plus 2. 2x minus 1, x plus 2. Therefore, x equals 1 or negative 2. Okay? Now, when we go the other way, putting the negative in front, so it's negative 2x squared plus 3x minus 1 equals 1. Run that negative through, negative 2x squared minus 3x plus 1 equals 1. Trying to remind myself, go slow so I don't make any mistakes. Subtract 1 from both sides. These ones will cancel, so it'll be negative 2x squared minus 3x equals 0. If I multiply everything, both sides, even though it's 0, everything by negative 1, so I can make this positive because I don't want that. 2x squared plus 3x equals 0. Factor an x out. I've got 2x plus 3 equals 0. X equals 0 or negative 3 over 2. So you have 4 answers. 0, negative 3 halves, 1, and negative 2. That's kind of a fun question here. Number 13. Somebody said 14. Did I really assign all the way to 14? No, I did up to 13. So 14 wasn't assigned, but if you really want me to do it, I will. But I want to make sure that you really want me to. Anyways, 13. Let's see what that says. Cars traveling towards the British Columbia-Alberta border. Oops, that's my drink. Car is traveling toward the British Columbia-Alberta border. A car is 150 kilometers from the border and is traveling at an average speed of 100 kilometers an hour. Write an absolute value equation to represent the distance, d kilometers, of the car from the border after t hours. And then determine when the car is 25 kilometers from the border. Explain strategy. Okay, all right. This one's a bit of a thinker, hey? It's not obvious to me right away what we're doing, which means it's funner. 13, page 644. Absolute value equation to represent the distance, d kilometers, of the car from the border after t hours. So the distance from the border, that's going to be d equals, and it's 150 kilometers from the border. So it looks like 150 minus 100 t. Okay, yeah, that's right, I think. Because I'm thinking, well, what's the problem? But if, let's say in 5 hours, if he's just going to keep going, if they're going straight towards the border and just go straight past it, in 5 hours, it's 150 minus 500, it's minus 350, but the absolute value would be 350. An absolute value equation represents the distance, d kilometers, of the car from the border after t hours. So basically what I did is I just gave you the answer without telling you how. Sorry, I'm kind of thinking out loud my way through this. The reason I knew that it was going to be d equals is because that's what you're solving for. It says write an absolute value equation to represent the distance. So we're representing the distance. And the car from the border, we know that right now it's 150 kilometers away, but it's moving at 100 kilometers an hour. So in half an hour, if that's 0.5, then 100 times 0.5 would be 50. 150 minus 50 is 100. That means it's 100 kilometers away. But if in 2 hours, so 100 times 2 is 200. 150 minus 200 is minus 50. The absolute value of minus 50 is 50. It would be 50 kilometers past. Just past, right? Because like if this is the border, and this is the car, and this is like 150 kilometers, if they get past on the other side, so like this is 50, it's not negative, it's just 50. They're on that side. Here they're 150 away on this side. They could be 50 away on this side too. But the question is just asking, it's not asking which side of the border are they on. It's just how far away are they. Hopefully that makes sense. There's a part B. Determine when the car is 25 kilometers from the border. Explain your strategy. Okay, so D is your distance, so that's 25. So what we're doing is we're saying 25 equals 150 minus 100 t. Determine when. So we're solving for t. Now, explain your strategy. I think what they want to know is a little more detail about how you know which side of the border they're on. So let's do this the same two ways that we normally would. So 25 equals 150 minus 100 t. I'm going to subtract 150 from both sides. So it's going to be negative 125 equals negative 100 t. We're going to divide both sides by 100. Sorry, by negative 100. So 125 over 100 is 1.25. So in 1.25 hours, or that's an hour and 15 minutes. So if it wants it in, yeah, whatever, hour 15, 1 hour, 15 minutes is how long it'll be before it's 25 kilometers away from the border. Now that is one solution. That is one solution. The other solution, 25 equals negative 150 minus 100 t. This is a good question. 25 equals negative 150, it's not an easy question, plus 100 t. So we're going to subtract, or sorry, we're going to add 150 to both sides. So this is going to become 175, which equals 100t. The 100 is positive this time, so we're going to divide both sides by 100. Cancels there. So this is going to be 1.75 equals t, which means 1 hour and 45 minutes. So this is in an hour and 15 minutes, they're going to be 25 meters before the border. In 1 hour and 45 minutes, they're going to be 25 meters past the border. Not meters, kilometers, sorry. Does that make sense? Let me just double check, see if there's an answer for this one. D equals 150 minus 100t, yeah. 1 1/4 and 1 3/4. Yeah, sure. The one time I go decimals, they do fractions. But anyway, same idea. Cool, cool, cool. So like I said, if you want 14, say so. I'm kind of assuming that it was a mistake. The function is linear. I'm just going to pause it and have a look at it, see if it might be quick. Okay, I am going to do 14 just because it's fun. I was thinking, should I do it on this recording or should I start a new one? I'm going to do it here. If you don't want to pay attention, don't have to. It's not a required question, but it looks intertesting. So we're going to have a look. And I was thinking, like, I don't want to dissuade you guys from trying these questions that weren't assigned. You can totally do them. Oh, 7, the reason I don't want to do that is because it's a different kind of world of malarkey. And yeah, like this is still within our realm right here. So this is 14 from page 645. The piecewise notation we don't need to know. Oh, piecewise, that was a previous question for 7. When I'm saying we don't need 7, that's because it's graphing. That's because it's calculator. Okay, this one looks fun. The function y equals f of x is linear. The line y equals 6 intersects y equals f of x at x equals 4 and x equals 0. So let's draw some stuff. Okay, so we have 2 lines. Maybe I'll make them in red. The line y equals 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's a line at y equals 6. And it says it intersects at x equals 4 and x equals 0. So it intersects here and 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Okay, so there's going to be intersecting points there. And it also says there's a line y equals 3. 1, 2, 3. What is that? You just went and bought headphones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because mom kept taking mine, and I was going to get her some, but these are better, so these are mine now.
Okay. So we have a line at y equals 3, y equals 6. So we know there's going to be intersections at that, and the next one at 1 and 3. So x equals 1 and 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So it looks like it says that f of x intersects. Now, what is an equation for the function? You're going to have two answers. Because basically, one of these has a slope of -3. One of them has a slope of +3. So if you look at this one, so it'll go down here. What's something skinnier to point? So 1, 2, 3, and 1. 1, 2, 3, and 1. So it's gonna intersect right here, right? Is that in focus? And then here, 1, 2, 3, and 1. 1, 2, 3, and 1. This is the intersection point. This is where it bounces. Now, what color haven't I used? Let me just draw it and then I'll say something else. One part of it and then the other part of it. Okay, now the point is, we don't know if this line here, if this is kind of heading in this way, it's coming down and it bounces off the the x-axis and goes up that way, or if it was starting this way and it bounces that way. That's why there's two possible solutions. So it says, what is an equation for the function? Okay, so to do an equation, you need the y-intercept and the slope. So for this bad boy here, the y-intercept is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the slope is negative 3 over 1. So y equals negative 3x plus 6. Negative slope because it's rising to the left. This one's positive because it's rising to the right. This one, though, we don't know what the y-intercept is, not by looking at it, but we can figure it out just by continuing this graph. There's other ways, but this will be the easiest. 1, 2, 3, and 1. 1, 2, 3, and 1. So this is going to be the intercept. So if this is the origin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay, I have something to share with you. But so it's y equals 3x minus 6. Well, of course it's 6 because this is 6. I should have just went, what's the mirror image? But anyway, there you go. Can you dig it, man?